What factors are behind the drive towards smarter and more reliable energy network? Why do we need them? What's driving this?
When speaking about smarter grid, I would mainly refer to, I would say, data-driven grid. And I think that there are a few very important drivers or motivation. One of them is net zero in general and net zero grid in particular. And you know, the path there is very challenging because we need to heavily rely on renewable energies, and the grid was not originally designed for it, and therefore technology can help a lot. Another aspect is the fact that the grid is probably one of the largest scale, one of the most complicated, most expensive device man ever made. So just by saying it, it's quite understandable why we would like to make it more efficient. And I think the last thing is, I would say, a growing dependency on safe and reliable energy delivery. And this is, critical for modern life.
The grid's been there for almost a century or so. It's there. There's a certain capacity that we've deployed, globally, and there's a tsunami of energy coming, tsunami of demand coming towards us. So is the main driver about managing that demand and timing that demand to create a smarter grid to allow that demand to be normalized over the day or the month of the year?
Yeah. So I think that managing it's of course a very important aspect of it and very critical. But the other aspect is in those changing environment, how we keeping the grid reliable, resilient, how we can optimize it, how we can extract the maximum out of the grid, how we can make it more efficient, I would say.
So where exactly could these new technologies have the biggest impact on network reliability?
So I think that, first of all, when speaking about data-driven grid, the idea is first of all, to collect as much data as you can. So it should be all over the grid, all the time, and a very extensive amount of data, not only electrical data, but data about abnormal activities, about weather condition, about risk to the grid. Once you're having it, you have a lot of way to generate an impact. It can be by making the grid more resilient, by reducing the failure, increasing the uptime. It can be, for example, by doing things like predictive and preventive maintenance much better, so we can deal with problems before there are problems, and we can even do the things that we used to do in the past in a more efficient way. I think that I can give just one example. Like, take a look at, for example, maintenance procedures that we're doing on the grid, like washing the insulator of the grid in an annual basis using helicopter with water tanks. What an expensive process to do. If you can monitor the grid efficiently, you can do this expensive process where it needed and when it needed. So you can do it much better with, significantly less resources and eventually cost.
I think you're absolutely right. In the previous panel session, we discussed better intelligence on assets can direct the maintenance, direct the replacement, rather than having a standard 15, 20, 25-year life cycle replacement mechanism.